Hello, my lovelies. This is Aquarius Empath, and welcome to the Divine Perspective. I'm happy and glad that all of you guys could join me. Thank you for the likes, clicks, shares, and the views, and let's get into the introduction. So, I am a natural born empath. For a lot of you guys who don't know me, I am clear cognizance, which is clear knowing, clear radiance, which is clear hearing, clear empathy, which is clear emotion. I have always had these spiritual gifts since I can remember. I am a spiritual coach and a tarot reader. I have been in my practice for years now. Um, I'm a true Aquarian through and through. I'm a loving person, a caring person, but I do not like to sugarcoat things with people. So even my tarot readings are a little straightforward and to the point. Um, because my ultimate goal is to lift the vibration of the planet and to see everybody heal. Um, because that is my ultimate goal. So people are not really used to Aquarians. They're not really used to our energy and who we are. We are very smart, intellectual people, the most loving, caring, and loyal to a fault type of people. But I just want to give a little introduction about who I am. And those of you who have been supporting me, I just want to say thank you very much. And let's definitely get into the topic of self forgiveness and forgiveness. That is what we're going to be talking about today, okay? So forgiveness is one of those tricky topics that I feel like a lot of people are like they kind of straddle the fence about. Okay. Um, Forgiveness is a topic that's hard to put in perspective for other people because other people are they now I understand everybody, goes through stuff in this lifetime. If we didn't go through things in this lifetime, it wouldn't teach us how to grow and be better, right? So we all go through things in this lifetime, but it's all about what and how and what you do with it, okay? People have their own ideas about what forgiveness looks like, but the true understanding of forgiveness is way much deeper than that. It starts with looking within yourself. Through a situation with somebody or something, you must first learn to forgive yourself and then you work on forgiving another person. And the reason that is why you have to forgive yourself first is because a lot of people don't understand or realize that we all have a role and we all have a part to play in any situation, okay? But I think we internalize and we blame ourselves a lot for things that go wrong. And we don't allow ourselves grace and we don't allow the space to forgive ourselves within the situation we put ourselves in or the situation we were put in. Okay. You have to forgive yourself first. That way you can have a clear perspective, okay, of what the other person has did and what part they played in your life. When somebody hurts you, instead of coming a perspective of, oh, look at what they did to me, being in a victim mentality, you switch your perspective, okay? And you say, okay, what did I learn from this situation? What am I not going to definitely repeat? Okay. That is how you look at that situation. Okay. Um, because I feel like when you can't self-reflect, it's because your ego is definitely in the way of what spirit is trying to teach you. A lot of people operate out of a place of ego. When you're operating out of a place of ego, you're lying not only to yourself, but you're lying to other people though. Because coming from a place of ego is not being your true authentic self. Okay. You're not being honest. You're not being real with yourself and or others when you're coming from a place of ego. Okay. And I think that that's a bigger thing that we need to understand within, practicing forgiveness. Okay. Because you have to forgive the fact that it was not your fault, okay, for one, and you also have to give yourself grace within that because like I said before, everybody makes mistakes, okay? And a lot of times, like when I was talking about ego, ego will not allow you to change your perspective. Okay, your ego is gonna keep you focused on what they did to you instead of changing your perspective about the whole situation. I feel like when you're healing and you're coming from a place of trying to learn something new, having a different perspective and being able to change your perspective and also have empathy for other people is very much so important. It's like when you're coming from a place of ego, it's like having rose colored glasses on, you know? And it's also not being able to be accountable. I feel like that's a big one, you know. When you're healing and you're going back, reevaluating things, people, places, and situations that were going on at that time, you really have to be in a place of looking at things and self-reflecting because accountability is one of the most difficult things to do when forgiving yourself and others. But you have to take a look at yourself and be like, hey, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? I should not have made that decision. I should not have did what I did. But I did it and I take responsibility for that. Now when you take accountability, okay, for the decisions that you make, okay, you have to make sure you give yourself grace and allow yourself to feel those repressed feelings and emotions that you've kept buried down because what your ego attached to it, those negative thoughts, those negative emotions. Okay. Um, you can also journal them down, write them down, ground yourself, cry them out. That is also a way of spiritual release, crying. Um, yeah, because it's important. And like I said, one of my favorite things to do is write a letter to myself and put it in a burning bowl and do burning bowl rituals. That's also something that you can do to help yourself heal. Um, and like I said, that things are not going to happen overnight. Even if you do a burning bowl ritual, even if you do, even if you know what I'm saying, work on forgiving, it's not going to be an overnight thing. But it's the initial steps that you take to start healing that I feel like are the most important to let go of the pain and anguish that somebody has done to you. You have to learn how to let that go. Because, like, a lot of people hold grudges, and that grudge freaking consumes them. They end up being mean, old, bitter, or not even necessarily old, but old, bitter people who are always mean, who are always snappy because they hold grudges and they haven't released those things that somebody did to them. They don't know how to release it, right? Holding a grudge will energetically destroy you. Okay. It's not people can say all day, oh yeah, hold on to the energy, but it's going to eventually destroy you. So if you can imagine like a balloon, right? A balloon that you just keep filling up with water every time you get mad or upset and you don't actually feel those emotions, you just kind of push them to the side, eventually that balloon's gonna pop because it's gonna be too much water and too much pressure. Okay. A lot of healing and even manifestation, you know, it's about changing your perspective. You know what I'm saying? When you're manifesting something, one of the tricks to manifestation is to be in the energy of I already have it, it's already here, and to let it go to the universe, right? But even within that, that's still changing a perspective because you're coming out of a place of lack saying, I don't have, to saying, I already have. You get what I'm saying, guys? Okay, so, and I also feel like, if you cannot forgive a person, you need to change your perspective, okay? Because healing and these type of things, healing is not for the other person. It is for you. Because you have to ask yourself like importance of questions of like, okay, what is this doing? Me holding a grudge against such and such from 12, 22 years ago, however long, how is this benefiting me energetically? Everything is energy. It's an energetic currency, right? So how is this benefiting me energetically? It's not. It's not. And I tell people all the time, if you're looking for people to apologize, 9 times out of 9 people who don't apologize, they're not. And people who do come apologize, 9 times out of 9, they didn't fucking mean it. They're just saying it so you can leave them alone. Okay? They're just saying it so you can leave them alone because they want you to be like, "Oh, well, they apologize, so I guess I forgive them." And they wanna be able for you to release the energy, because people can absolutely feel, okay, when you haven't let go of something energetically, especially if they're spiritually awakened and they're tapped into their abilities and their intuition. People can absolutely feel that. They can feel the fact that you don't forgive them. They can feel the fact that you holding something against them, you know? And a lot of times also is when people come back and apologize, it's because they are in a space of healing and the guilt of their actions ate them up and their consciousness cannot take it. Because when people do you wrong, like I tell people, you can go put a curse and hex on them if you want to, but why not let your spirit just take care of it for you? Because karma is a real thing. I don't care what anybody say. People can like, oh, I did this, I did that, and nothing bad happened to me. Yeah, not yet. Not yet. Because the laws of the universe are literally yin and yang, positive and negative. Okay. And you have to learn how to balance the both of them. Okay. And like I said, it's good that people have a conscience. Okay. And that they're willing to admit that they're wrong. Because learning to drop your ego comes from a place of light and authenticity. Because once again, as I said earlier, when you're coming from a place of ego, you're coming from a place of not being honest with yourself and others. And your ego is part of your dark side. I hate for people to say that, but it definitely is. A lot of people use their egos for a lot of different reasons, okay? But also, a lot of people go through an ego death, okay? Where their ego is crushed to a million little bitty pieces. It's shattered. And it will force you to make better decisions and come from a place of being genuine with yourself and others. Okay, when people are going through an ego death, it will literally bring them to their knees. Okay, literally bring them to their knees. Okay, and people find it harder to forgive themselves than it is to forgive others. Can you imagine that? But it's a true statement because when we go through things, we're harder on ourselves than we are any other human being, whether it be kids, spouse, work partnership, whatever. We are harder on ourselves than we are on anybody else. Okay. But see, that's one of the things that we have to be accountable for, okay? And not be so hard ourselves and give each other grace. Give yourself grace. I feel like why do we have such hard times as human beings giving ourselves grace, giving ourselves the space to say, hey, because if you think about it, people will I'll even use celebrities for instance. A celebrity will do something, okay? And then everybody's like, oh, well, we forgive him. That was so long ago. Okay. That's the same grace you should have for yourself. Oh, yeah, you did it. It happened, but it was so long ago, okay? It was so long ago. And you have to be able to release that energy, okay, and take accountability for what you've done so that you can release that energy and transmute that energy into something better, okay? You cannot take accountability for what other people say and do. That is not your burden to bear. That is that person's burden to bear, okay? Because when you hold on to shit that people have done to you, it's not going to do anything but keep you stagnant and stuck. Okay. You're not going to be able to progress anywhere because you have that energetic field of negativity around you of what somebody did, what somebody said, blah, blah, blah. Okay. You have to be willing to transmute that energy. When you feel that anger and pain and frustration of what somebody has done to you and hurt you in your past, take that energy and put it into something positive. Okay. You take that energy of hurt, pain. If you got a new project you're trying to start up, a new business, a new podcast, a new YouTube channel, a new TikTok channel, whatever that case may be, a new book, a new song, whatever that is, you take those hurt and emotions and you put it into your project. And I will guarantee you, whatever that project is, it will turn out to be successful because you are transmuting all that bad energy, okay? And that's why empaths have such a hard time. We have such a hard time on this planet because we were sent here to transmutate the energy. Okay. We are like little antennas of the world. So we not only absorb energy, we definitely attract all types of energies and we absorb it and we transmute it. That's why empaths go through some hard things. I'm sure everybody does, but empaths most definitely. Okay. Energy transmutation is very important. A lot of people in the spiritual community talk about a lot of things, but I don't hear a lot of people talking about energy transmutation. Okay, that is a big part of healing. Okay, that is a big part of leveling up spiritually too. When you transmute that energy, you'll notice if you have spiritual gifts, your spiritual gifts will start to get bigger and greater, and they'll start to become second nature to you because you are tapped in and you're transmutating that negative energy that you've been holding on to into something positive. And then another thing I want to bring up is some people will not admit that they're wrong because they want to hold on to you energetically. They know that you're mad at them for whatever they did and they'll purposely not apologize to you because not only do they want to keep you in their life, they want to hold on to you energetically. If you forgive somebody and transmutate the negative energy that they gave you, they have no rhyme or reason to hold on to you in any type of capacity, okay? It's a way for them to siphon your energy, okay, little by little. And you wonder why you're thinking about them, or are they constantly on your mind and y'all have had no contact with each other. That's why, because it's an energy siphon. It's a way for them to pull on your energy, okay? Protecting yourself energetically are things you definitely must do in your spiritual journey. When you're opening up yourself spiritually, you must protect yourself. Saging, burning bowl rituals, meditation. Those who are into witchcraft, make sure you're asking your higher self, higher power, or whoever for guidance before casting spells, and make sure that you're cleansing yourself in the process. Protecting yourself spiritually is a must, okay, guys? You must do that on a regular basis, okay? It is very, very, very important, okay? And like I said before, forgiveness is for yourself. It's not for other people. And that's what people, oh, I'm gonna forgive you. No, you're forgiving them because you want to be able to move on. You want to be able to level up. You want to be able to manifest what you want out of life and create the life that you want. But you won't be able to do that unless you're forgiving and transmutating that energy. Okay. Releasing a person physically is one thing, but releasing them energetically is a whole different thing. Okay. Because you will come to a peace, okay, like never before that nobody can take away from you. Okay. Having peace is one of the most, I can't even explain it. Peace is everything to me. Okay. I will not allow somebody to come into my space and interrupt my peace by any means necessary. Okay. It is very important that people know, okay, that your peace means a lot to you. And your peace should mean a lot to you. Then also, always use your intuition, okay? I feel like that's a very, very big part of knowing how to move, when to move, and where to move, okay? Because everyone has trauma, okay? But your intuition is going to help you feel through your experiences, okay? Everybody has trauma. And if they don't, if they say, oh, I've never been traumatized in my life, I've never went through anything, you're a liar. Because everybody goes through trauma. It could be childhood trauma, high school trauma, trauma, whatever the case may be. Everybody goes through trauma, guys. Everybody. And if they're saying they've never went through trauma, they're a liar. Okay. Some people choose to ignore what their problems and issues are because it benefits them not to heal. It benefits them not to release. That's why you have so many people going around hurting other people because they refuse to heal. They refuse to do self reflection. Okay. People who cannot self reflect and look at what's wrong with them, okay, and admit that they're wrong, run. Okay. Run from them. Okay. Because when you address your trauma, okay, and you're willing to be honest with yourself, that shows progress. That shows the steps to healing. Okay. That shows, hey, I'm willing to take a look at myself to see why all these things are not where they need to be in life at the moment because I'm ready to heal. Healing is one of the most beautiful things that you can do for yourself because healing, forgiving yourself and forgiving others, all those different categories and subject, it's not for other people, it's for yourself. When you heal, there is a different energy about you. There is a different glow about you, and people are drawn to it and they're jealous of it because they don't have it. Even in the spiritual community, I see a lot of people being catty. I say out of stuff like that. I will not entertain drama because at the end of the day, people who have spiritual gifts and they are gifted in any type of capacity, it shows. You don't have to tell anybody and you don't have to prove it. Okay. So say for instance, I would say which I'm not. Okay, I'm not um a warlock, which I'm not. I'm gonna repeat, I'm not a warlock. But if I go online and post all these fake pictures about me being a warlock, blah blah blah. If people don't think that, that's them. But I was looking at TikTok the other day, and this one creator, I have to I have to find out who he is. Go see who he is. He's a voodoo guy. So, but he was saying that a lot of people are not going to go back and forth online. You're absolutely correct. A lot of people are not going to go back and forth online. A lot of people are into their spiritual practices and tight with their spiritual deities and have that protection that if a person come try them, they're gonna get their butt spanked by the spiritual world. I don't say what I wouldn't want to do because it ain't none of people business. But I don't come for people. Don't come for me. I feel like that's an equal balance of where my where my boundaries are. Okay, healing. Okay, is a lifelong journey. It's a journey that's so continuous. It's so big. It's so extraordinary that it's like finding little pieces of diamonds out of nowhere. So say like we're just walking through life and part of our healing process is where every time we heal or we complete a cycle, we find like a 5 carat diamond on the ground. That's what like healing is. It's so self liberating. It is. It's a liberating thing. And people can feel and see when you heal. Okay. They can feel it. I'm gonna say it one more time, they can see it. I will never forget. I was at work and I think I said this on the last podcast. I was at work one day and this girl was like, "Oh my God, your skin is glowing. You look so good. What are you doing?" And I'm thinking in the back of my head healing, but I showed her the collagen peptide protein powder that I was drinking. You know what I'm saying? But once again, that was a point in my spiritual journey where I was shining so bright, like I always do. People um saw it, and I had a conversation with my best friend about it, and I was like, "Hey, like, what is this? Like, why is everybody noticing how I'm shining, how I'm glowing?" And she was like, "Because you're healing, because you're glowing, because you're a high priestess, because you're like a bees to honey. When you have a lot about yourself, people are definitely drawn to it. They want to see what is this." And then a lot of people get jealous of it because they want it for themselves. That's why I said spiritual protection is most definitely necessary. It's always necessary to protect yourself spiritually. A lot of people go to other people for spiritual practices because they don't know. They'll go to learn, or and some people do it themselves and they learn or they're taught by um family members. Whichever way benefits you. But I would say definitely pray, meditate, and sage before you do that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys and be all about love and light and be like, oh no, but everybody wants to see you do good. The world is good, but not everybody wants to see you do good. That's just the reality. I have stories for days of how people set me up and betrayed me because I was winning and they didn't want to see me win. They did not want to see me win in any type of capacity. You know why? Because of betrayal. Because of betrayal. But once I realized I had to learn a lesson out of that situation, once I realized that I was going to grow from that situation and become better, once I released the energy, I was going to feel better. It got easier for me. And that's the secret to it, you guys. People don't like to listen. I'm an Aquarius, so I'll tell y'all, I feel like I'm a know it all. I feel like I'm a know it all. I do. If we are very knowledgeable, I read lots of books, have been reading lots of books since I was a child because I want to know. I want to know. And when I do have the facts and I can go back and look up the information and be like, this is my source, this is where I got it from. Um, that's kind of why. Information is power. This information I'm giving you is power. I don't think y'all caught that. Information is power, and the information I am giving you is power on forgiveness and self forgiveness and how to heal. Well, all right, you guys. This is going to be the end of the podcast. I hope you guys are praying, saging, and protecting yourself. And I will see you in the next podcast. Love you guys. Bye.